Hi, everybody. It's Chris Spiker. I'm so happy to be here to talk to you today. I have the responsibility of not only being a faculty member at a X-Culture school, Marywood University in Scranton, Pennsylvania, but I'm also the co-founder of the firm Dart Drones, which I started with my daughter in 2016. And we've had a great run, and I want to tell you all about the company. So we have done X-Culture one other time with the students pre-COVID, and it was a great experience, and we're just starting to get back involved now again with different endeavors that we're involved with. So let me explain a little bit about Dart Drones to you all, and I look forward to getting all of your information as you work throughout the semester and into the future. Thanks. Okay, so just a little bit about Dart Drones. And again, introduction, my name is Chris Spiker. I'm with Marywood University. We're located in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Dart Drones had its roots in Boston, Massachusetts in the United States, and now the headquarters is located in Park City, Utah, and it's operated primarily by my daughter, Abby Carroll, and we operate in about 58 locations around the United States. So what is Dart Drones? Dart Drones is the leading nationwide drone training company in the United States. We're the pioneer of drone training in the U.S. Again, we specialize in drone training. We have regular classes that take place in 25 cities around the country, but we train in over 50 sites around the U.S. based upon the different needs of our clients throughout the country. We train with over 30 different instructors and in all sorts of areas such as public safety, videography, advanced industries such as the energy industry, both above ground where we do tower inspections for windmills, and we also do a lot of different types of flying as it relates to the oil and gas industry. So to date, we've trained about 17,000 people around the world, and most of that training has been through basic flight training, which is called the Part 107 Airman's Knowledge Test for the FAA in the United States. You know, a little bit of history about the company. We do, again, customized on-site training for all sorts of enterprises and government entities in the United States. We do lots of consulting services when companies are considering starting a drone program. We do lots of consulting of how to get that drone program up and rolling, everything from, which drones they need to have in their fleet to training their pilots and making sure that they keep proper records for governmental purposes as they go into the future. We also have open enrollment classes. Again, these are about 25 locations throughout the United States where we train future drone pilots in these cities on the rules and regulations set up by the government, the FAA, but secondarily also how to fly those drones. And lastly, we do pilot management, which is, getting pilots up to speed in different verticals. And those verticals include everything from the oil and gas industry to public safety to videography. We've trained people in Hollywood for years, since the very beginning of drone use in Hollywood and different broadcast entities around the world. Our list of clients include Walmart, Phillips 66, NBC, and lots of governmental entities like NASA, the FBI. We've trained most of the U.S. military services we have contracts with to train their people. And we're actively engaged with lots of broadcast entities such as, again, NBC, Comcast, CBS, Disney, as well as every major Hollywood studio we work with. In addition, we also work with some of the biggest companies in the country, such as Lockheed Martin and IBM, Northrop Grumman. We do work with Tesla and the National Transportation Safety Board. And also, believe it or not, we do a lot of NFL and sports teams in the United States for various security measures that they do with their particular facilities. So how do we evolve over time? We started off with really trying to be drone education back when drones became legal to operate in the United States, and the government was a little behind on the rules of how to operate them. And when they came out with their licensing, everyone was trying to figure out how to be licensed to be legal to fly in the United States. So what we did is we only selected pilots who had the ability to fly a manned aircraft, and we trained them. Many of them came to us already with lots of expertise with unmanned systems, either through the military or from personal use. And so we went out and qualified a number of instructors. We started off with 10 cities around the country, and then we did. Since then we've trained about 25,000 pilots throughout the U.S. We also have trained an additional probably 60,000 pilots through different programs that we have that are free, that have been offered online for years to get them engaged with, for example, how to start a drone-based business. So what countries do we currently operate? What are the new markets that we might be interested in going into? And what are the constraints when selecting a new market? We currently do business in a few other countries outside the United States, primarily in the Middle East, and that's on a contract basis where we were hired to train, for example, a police department in the Middle East, where we train them in the usage of drones. We have a few other contracts internationally, but not a lot. It's surprising for how big we've become in the U.S. and how we've dominated here and how little we actually do abroad. We really have no fixed wing operations outside of the United States, so we operate everything from here in the U.S. We're interested in countries that recognize that drones will be really important to their economies as they move forward, particularly in the delivery of products and services as time goes on. You know, the time of when you can order something from McDonald's or Kentucky Fried Chicken or wherever, and it's delivered to your door in minutes is coming. It's almost upon us, and all those pilots are going to need to be trained. And we're looking for governments that recognize that that training is going to be so necessary to successfully implement and safely implement drone delivery in their economy. So that's who we're trying to identify. That's who we're trying to go after. Our biggest constraint, of course, is time. You know, we're a fast-growing company. We're always trying to find, really good people that can work really fast in a dynamic environment. And we're hoping to leverage our time with the assistance of you all, the X-Culture students, who can come to us and tell us and give us actionable intelligence. That's what is most important to businesses, is actionable intelligence. Businesses want to be able to have something that they can act upon immediately. And that's what we're looking for, is actionable intelligence, things that we can do immediately in order to start up an operation in another country. So I'm more than willing to answer any questions as it relates to that as you start your work. So whom can you, the students, interview to better understand our market in terms of competitors, customers, and regulators? We suggest you talk to people in governments that deal with long-term training of students, internship programs, and workforce development programs. They're the key. They're the ones that recognize that what's going to happen in the near future and realize that they need to have lots of training. So we would be suggesting talking to people in like the ministries of labor and commerce or departments of labor and commerce, as well as people that deal with government innovation, because this is really an area that's coming up and is moving very, very quickly. Additionally, we would like to contact educational institutions. This is probably the most important thing to us at Dart Drones, is contacting educational institutions who realize that drone education is really important to their students, and that their students are going to be, it's going to be a regular part of all of your lives moving forward. And we want to talk to those educational institutions who are interested in implementing drone education in their systems. It could be high schools or secondary schools, training programs, experience coordinators. I know in a lot of countries around the world that they have internship programs, and they have people that focus on the quality of the experience of those interns as they're out there. And, they're the type of people that we need to have the contact with and need to be able to talk to have, again, that actionable intelligence necessary to be successful in operating around the world. How do we currently promote our company, and how has our strategy evolved over time? Almost all of our promotion is on our website. Although we recognized around the world as the leading drone education provider, which leads many businesses to us. We're very much a word of mouth within particular industries, but we do rely on our website, continuous offerings, constant contact with potential, our client list, and we work really hard to stay in touch with them and let them know what we have going on a regular basis. How has it changed over time? When we first started, we were dealing with drone hobbyists who then were seeking to turn their hobby into a business and needed licensing from the government in order to operate legally. So we worked with all those, and eventually we started working with lots of different governments and enterprises and how to use drones in their daily work to make their entities more efficient. Okay, so in many cases, there were companies had to use helicopters or airplanes, fixed wing aircraft, manned aircraft to go out and do surveys. And now they can do a lot of that via drones at a fraction of the cost. So it was a major savings, and we helped lots of companies and governments around the world implement those programs to be more efficient and to operate much more effectively. Today we're prepared to train the world for autonomous drone delivery, which will require millions, literally millions of trained and certified pilots. That's what we're focusing on, is that next sector. That's what's next for us, is that. And that's where we need actionable intelligence to make your time worthwhile and our time worthwhile with the whole X-Culture process. We are looking for, as is every firm that's participating in the X-Culture process, actionable intelligence, information that you can provide to them that we could take immediate action in order to become a more profitable and sustainable company. What are our marketing challenges? Our biggest challenge is we just need to get in front of those people who are planning out the future for both firms and economies as we move next. We're looking for governments that are preparing for the what's next. Okay, that's really important to us, is which governments really see the value in drones and see the value of training people. That's who we want to talk to. Where they are in the world, we'll let you determine that. We think that they're out there and everybody's thinking about it. Question is, which governments are taking action? And those governments are the ones that we want to work with. Our biggest challenge is finding out who's moving quickly to develop programs in drones and student education around the world. So we're looking for progressive countries that are looking to really take drone education to the next level. We want to look at, again, the what's next, the who's next, and the actionable intelligence, the actionable intelligence that's necessary and key to making this successful. Our pricing strategy in the U.S., while we are literally the lowest cost provider in the United States for our standard class. We offer classes, again, in 25 fixed locations around the country, but in 58 locations, depending upon particular industries in which we're working in. For example, if you were interested in doing drones in the energy industry, we offer a number of classes in the Houston, Texas area where that industry is primarily located. And we price based upon the number of people we're training in the class, the vertical in which we're training. Some verticals are much more difficult to train in than others, and how much advanced preparation is necessary for our trainers to be ready to teach in any area. So when we're sitting down and we're pricing out a proposal, we look at the specifics as to, again, how many people will be training, whether or not it's just a one-off training, meaning we're only going to be training this one industry and this one class one time. That's very expensive for us, or whether or not it's something that could develop into training lots of people over multiple different companies in a particular industry. And that's what we look for. That's what we would prefer to do. And then our pricing can become much more efficient for our clients. We no longer just go out and just to get the job. When we first started, we would go out and we would be the low cost provider, and lots of times we lost money on those. We're no longer in that position. We don't need to lose money. If we bid on something, we bid on it. We know that it's a fair price for our customers, but we also know that we're going to make money because, if you're not going to be in business long if you don't make money or at least break even on everything that you do. So we're no longer that provider that will price it out at the lowest possible price just to get the business. We'll let that to others who have, if they don't change their policies, will unfortunately, die. What are the regulatory confines that our company will operate in? It differs from every country around the world. Most of the countries in the world have adopted the FAA, the US FAA, Federal Aviation Administration rules, or some variation of them. But we need to know the laws in those specific country in order to design our training. We need to know the process for gaining licensing and regulatory approvals to fly drones. And we need to know any programs established for the government for large-scale training of individual pilots. This is the key. This is the key for us, and what we're hoping you all would be able to work on is governments that have identified the drone implementation into the delivery sphere is going to happen, and how they're planning for that to happen is the key for us. So we need to know people that are implementing these policies and have contact with those decision makers. That's how you can help us most. What are the biggest challenges at this time? And what would we like X-Culture student consultants to focus on? What would be the most value for Dart Drones? We, again, would like X-Culture students to be able to provide us with actionable intelligence that we can act on quickly in new markets around the world. We need to know the process and the people to have a successful entry into a marketplace. Who are the people that we need to have contact with? Where in the world those people are and what the process is for that contact. That's the intelligence that we need in order to make it worthwhile for us. Any government or educational initiative to train drone pilots, if you can find those in a particular country and you can identify who they are and tell us the best possible information, contact information, preferably for getting in touch with them, we'd be really excited by that information. And that's pretty much it from us. We are really looking for just great information that you could help us to go to the next level. We are excited to be working with X-Culture. Our previous experience as a company, Dart Drones, was really useful and was great. It got interrupted by the fact that we entered into the COVID period. But now that we're out of that and we're working forward, we're looking forward to working with all of you on developing great ideas and again, actionable intelligence. If I could be of any further assistance or help with any of you, please feel free to contact me at Dart Drones. And I look forward to talking to you. Thanks. And again, thanks for all of your help. This is a great thing. And hopefully you're really enjoying your X-Culture experience.